This is a BP9CC made by ASG. I got mine for $65 and spare mags for this gun run around $10 a mag. This gun has a weird mix of great qualities and not so great qualities, which I'll be covering in this review. This air gun is based on the actual BP9CC made by Bersa, and curiously, it weighs more than the real gun at 23 ounces with CO2 inside, while the actual BP9 weighs 21.5 ounces unloaded. In my opinion, the gun shoots bad, but according to the results, it outshoots a whole bunch of other air guns like the Daisy 5501 and the Beretta APX. It even tied with the Umarex 9XP. For all specifications I talk about in this review, see this video's description to see a Google sheet of this gun specs and all other gun specs I've reviewed as part of Gabby's Airguns. You'll see guns from Season 1 and Season 2. Before I continue with the rest of this review, subscribe to my channel and ring that bell to see my next review of a Umarex Smith & Wesson M&P 40. This isn't the blowback version, but maybe I'll review that one in the future. The BP9CC uses a 20-round stick magazine, and it's okay. It's not as easy to load as other magazines, but it's still manageable. To load it, I recommend covering the front hole with the finger and loading from the back. Once that's done, cover both holes and release the spring. If you don't cover both holes, the BBs might shoot everywhere from the spring being released. This gun has one safety located on the side. Point up to shoot, point to the right to safe. When you put the gun safe, however, and pull the trigger, BBs will fall out of the barrel, so be careful about that. In my rounds per CO2 cartridge test, I was able to get 140 shots, or about 7 magazines worth. On the penetration test, the gun was able to get through 36 sheets of 20-pound paper at 12 feet. I recommend looking at this number in comparison to other air guns, so check out the Google sheet in the description. 36 sheets is one of the lowest penetrations among all the BB guns I've ever tested. For the grouping test, I shot at 12 targets at 12 feet, making 3 shots per target. I measured the distance between the two farthest shots and then took the average of all 12 targets. I was able to get an average grouping of 1.03 inches, which is above average for blowback guns. This gun, however, shoots high and it likes to randomly throw BBs half an inch in any direction. You can see it on the target, and you can see it in this quick fire demo on soda cans. Heads, I start from the left. Tails, I start from the right. You see that I missed the first can because I shot too high. Can 3 was the only one I shot spot on, but on cans 2 and 4, I also shot very high in them, even though I was aiming directly in the middle. Unfortunately, the sights are not adjustable in this gun, so you're gonna have to change the way you shoot this gun. I measured the trigger pull for this pistol, which was around 4 pounds 8 ounces. The trigger actually feels heavier because the trigger is very weird. When you're shooting and pulling the trigger slowly, the pull will divide itself into 2 distinct trigger stages. Both stages feel the same, it's just divided in the middle. In the middle, you'll hear a click, and that means a BB was ejected from the magazine into the barrel, and it will freely roll inside. So when you're shooting this gun, you gotta pull the trigger fast. If you're looking to buy an actual BP9CC, then I recommend you buy the airgun version so you can train at home with the airgun. I know not everyone lives at the range like I do, so buy the airgun to train at home. That being said, I like the fact that this gun shoots 140 times on one CO2 cartridge and that the magazine holds 20 rounds. The grouping on this gun is surprisingly good, but the gun does not feel accurate when you're shooting it. So that's a deal breaker for me when it comes to shooting mice on my family's chicken farm, so this gun is not Gabby approved. Click on the right to see my next review of a Smith & Wesson M&P 40. Click on the left to see my last review of a Glock 19 Gen 3. To see all my other gun reviews, see this video's description for a list. And if you want to see the best gun I reviewed for Gabby's Airguns Season 2, click on the link on the screen. I'll see y'all later.